know it's been a while, but hear me out. Hey YouTube, it's the Colorful Chaos and welcome back to my channel. Now, I know it's been a while, so hear me out. Your girl has had a lot that's happened over the year or two.
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye.
Okay, so basically, as you can tell by the title, I had my first solo showcase. So let's rewind back to 2021. A curator actually came into my studio. He reached out and basically told me that he wanted to do a solo showcase for me in 2023 from January 19th all the way to March 9th. So your girl basically had all of Black History Month and then some. I had to deliver 60 paintings. At the time, my paintings were not like this big. So I can see why he wanted me to paint more quantity in order to fill out the space. So now that I knew that I had 60 paintings that I had to deliver at the time, I'm like, oh, I got a year to do this. That's easy.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
You know, not thinking about like how much work that will have to go into it. In my mind, I'm like, challenge accepted. I got this. A year, no problem. The planning of the showcase, I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't choose the Colorful Chaos for no reason. The chaos was there because the planning was not. In the beginning, I was relying solely on just intuition on when I wanted to paint, and that really didn't get me that far. Just keep that in mind for fellow artists out there. This was like no joke. Not expecting the burnout or anything that I was going to face later on. So for the showcase in general, I just really wanted to make this more of a debut for me. I didn't really think about any specific theme or a name. So the name of the show was my artist name, A Colorful Chaos. And I knew that I just wanted to just show the world, here I am, this is what I do, this is what I make. Each painting had its own story. Some paintings were different renditions of each other, or I just basically made, you know, another copy, but just maybe a different pose and just kept it moving. I was trying to really alleviate the pressure of everything having a story, or just leaving it up to the audience interpretation of that piece. When it came down to ideas, I did sketch out a lot in my sketchbook, and I even wrote down some ideas for different concepts. I have a lot of notes of different songs, different quotes, or specific figures or stories that I really liked or that other people really resonated with, and I could see myself painting out. And a lot of those concepts actually didn't make the showcase. A lot of those concepts stayed in my sketchbook, but I had a variety of things to work off of, so I felt pretty good on that front when it came down to knowing what to paint and the motivation behind that. I really didn't want to think too much on like, oh my gosh, what's my next painting? Oh my gosh, I don't know what to paint. Now, not to say that those moments didn't happen, because those moments did happen, but it very much kept me on my toes a little bit more when it was just like, okay, here's this concept, let's go. So another part of planning is definitely marketing. I had to jump on my social media again, which was very difficult and scary thing for me. And if you know, you know. I did get on TikTok. If you aren't already following me, you know, you should probably follow me on TikTok. Another cool thing that I did during my planning is I had a planned branded photo shoot. This is something I've always wanted to do, but I think it overall helped with my exhibition because it not only got me excited, but it also got my audience excited because it was a debut of some of my new pieces. And it's something that I actually featured on my website that is live. If you haven't already, go check out my website. The painting part was overall smooth in the beginning, hectic at the end. When I tell you procrastination, self-sabotage is a thing, it's a thing. So when it comes down to it, I was very like slow Like this painting behind me took me months. In my mind, the bigger the painting I had, the less numbers I had to do. Yes, I made sure that that was clear with the curator. And he was ecstatic about that. So I led with that and ran. Procrastination is self-sabotage. Again, it's real. Definitely crept in different pockets of time. I really had to rely on my support system, and honestly, they're the real goats in this. When I tell you, I appreciate the number of people that I was able to rely on when it came down to like, is this good, or I don't know if I can make this, or even just venting and for them to listen. It helped a lot. One of the best tips that honestly saved me was having a rotation in system of like 3 to 4 paintings. With my rotation, whenever I felt like I was stuck on a piece or I wasn't sure about something, I would put that one off to the side and just move on to the next one and just keep going with that one. I challenged myself this time going off of references. Normally I would get my references from Pinterest, or I go on Google and just try to look for some free stock images for me to help create my composition in my painting. But this time I actually did something a little bit different. I reached out to some of my friends and they were able to sit there and pose for me. Basically have like a little mini shoot in my room, and I was able to take pictures of them and use those photos as references for my paintings. There was a little bit of incentive out of it. Out of the fact that they would be a part of a painting, they got a free print in the process when it came down to these paintings. Now, going back on the whole juggling thing, social media really was a huge help in all this. I was able to really record a lot of my process when it came down to painting, some trends, and just overall, it was nice to look back on. It gave my audience something to anticipate about, and then also it just kept people engaged and had their eyes on me. And I really wanted to expand myself on all my platforms, but to juggle that and to paint was really hard. In order for me to not burn myself out, I really had to take the back seat of everything throughout the year while I really focused on these paintings. When I tell you I did not realize what I was signing up for, I really did not realize what I was signing up for. There were a lot of all-nighters, supplies. Your girl spent some coin, okay? The art stores have my money. They had my soul, they had my card, they had everything. I really took advantage of sales, and also I had to be creative. I had to go and think, like, where was I gonna get this large amount of paint that I use all the time? How I was gonna stretch my paint, places I can get paint for cheap. It was a lot of stuff that was going on, a lot of mixing parts. To this day, I don't think you guys will ever know how much I paid for supplies for this showcase. And just know, yes, it was a lot. Opening night, your girl was just emotional. That whole day, I did not know what to do with myself and anticipation for that evening. I had spent moments of just sitting there, not realizing like, wow, it's here. Everything that you worked on, everything that you've been focused on for this past year, the grind, the hustle, the tears, the lack of sleep, lack of like concentration, and the emotional turmoil, the mental turmoil, there were a lot of tears, happy tears. When I got to the showcase, I had all of the worries, all the doubts that I didn't create enough pieces. I delivered 47 out of the 60, which is, to me, I was beating myself up about that. I was really aiming for 50, if not 55 pieces to deliver. My concern was that there wasn't going to be enough on the walls. It wasn't going to be enough for people to see. I was really beating myself up about it. All that went out the door. All that went out the window. I prayed about it before I got there, got in there, and it looked amazing. So I did a final walkthrough just to see how everything looked. The curator was, waiting for my seal of approval. And honestly, he had it. He had the eye for everything. Like, no notes. I had plenty of surprises, people that I had reached out to that I didn't think were coming, people who lied and said that they weren't coming, showed up.
Oh Lord, she about to start waterheading.
Stop. I'm so quiet.
I'm just so happy that I have such a great support system. I had so many people who traveled to see me 2 hours plus just for one night, not even the whole evening, and they showed up and showed out. I felt so loved. I felt so over the moon, and it was all worth it. Needless to say, A Colorful Chaos solo exhibition was definitely a success. To hear a lot of the reviews of people feeling like they really resonated and they saw themselves, it really was a confirmation just to let me know that this is definitely something I want to do for the rest of my life, and that there will be plenty more to come. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna wrap this up. If you want to see more content from me, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell for more content like this. Don't forget to embrace the chaos of creativity, and I'll see you later, guys. Bye.